The Eva Payton and Anonymous situation, one of the worst things to happen in our community space of YouTube.
Eva Payton is throwing some heavy accusations at Mr.
No. Tell me why you believe, why you think it's okay for Anonymous to have a Bible in
Mr.
prison.
Anonymous abused his girlfriend.
I'm recording this video. Anonymous has been taken into custody.
To her, Mr. Anonymous also apparently drugged her with her sleeping medication, which led her parents to believe that she was trying to end her own life. On the 5th of February 2022, Eva Payton released her Twitter longer exposing a Mr. Anonymous, also known as Marc. So one of the allegations was that Mr. Anonymous, or Marc, threw a plate at one of her friends. Another allegation was that he and a few of his mates trashed her place completely. According to her, Mr. Anonymous also apparently drugged her with her sleeping medication, which led her parents to believe that she was trying to end her own life. He apparently physically assaulted her. He also spread around a lot of inappropriate photos of her. And to top that off, a lot of verbal abuse. Only a few hours after this statement was released, Mr. Anonymous, or Marc, released his statement at around about 9:30. He admits to throwing a plate at one of her friends. He admitted to trashing up her place, but it was under the influence of alcohol, etc. His defense for the drug one was that how do you know that you were drugged, and how do you know it was me if you were drugged, if there was 50 plus people at the party. He admitted to physically assaulting her, punching her, kicking her in the face. He said that her nudes were leaked, but it wasn't his fault. He was apparently hacked, and I say hacked because according to him, he paid the majority of her medical bills after she self-harmed after that whole situation, and she basically went to hospital because of blood loss. I want to say that he's basically admitted to everything except drugging her and sending her nudes around. And then a day after, on the 6th of February 2022, Eva Payton released a statement saying that Anonymous had been arrested. He then got bail afterwards, but that was only the beginning of the problems. So there was a lot of Twitter arguments between me, Eva Payton, and Anonymous, which all went down about the evidence provided for the allegation. Marc had obviously admitted to the majority of the accusations, so he was mainly backing his corner up to say the stuff that he didn't do. While all of this going down, content creators like Vampire707, Sleepy PJ, Cynical, Sin, and I all made videos discussing this horrific tragedy, while Anonymous took more of an approach of going silent and turning towards Christianity to repent for his sins. But that did not stop him from calling me out. So, I'm being counselled by the pro-women boxer, Mr. Anonymous. So, for the past few months, we have been having arguments on Twitter, but recently it has gotten out of hand. And this is because he has generally tried to counsel me. So, this happened after Anonymous gave one quote-unquote advice about my video with 24,000 views that got taken down. His advice was about copyright laws, and I know a lot about copyright laws anyway. That's why the video is up and blurred. I know a lot about it, but Mr. Anonymous claimed that it was due to him that I did this, but no, it just takes a while for YouTube to register an appeal, then the fucking blur, just add that all on top, it takes fucking time. But no, big man Mr. Anonymous wants to take credit for this, I don't know why. I can't lie, I'm scared to make this video, because I'm sure Mr. Anonymous will come to my house and accidentally beat me to a pulp with his wide range of women's boxing knowledge. Look, you can call me a prick for making fun of this, but what the fuck do you want me to do in this situation? It's so fucking petty. And then Mr. Anonymous tweeted at me this. Been bumping this tune all week, to be honest. I don't know what makes you more cowardly, to be honest. Not atting me when you take the mick out of my allegations, or the moment you told your fan base that this clip wasn't photoshopped. So let's break that statement down. Never have I lied about this clip. I've always been out front with it. In my most recent videos, you can literally see me talking about the clip. If I didn't want anyone to know, I definitely wouldn't fucking show the clip. I've been transparent with what I've done. It was 2 years ago. I've talked about it. I've discussed it. I've apologized for it. I've been exposed for it. Everyone has already talked about this. Even fucking Equinox talked about this. People who counsel me talked about this. Fiji Commentary talked about this. This is not new information. To be honest, I don't know how many times I need to say this. Critiquing me for something that everyone else has critiqued me for is unoriginal. I get what I did was extremely horrific and just bad and outright wrong, But fuck me, if you're going to critique me for something that I've already been exposed for, at least bring up some new points about it. But no, you haven't here. You're just exposing me for the same shit that everyone else has. You're acting like this is a brand new discovery that no one has talked about this before. I'm also gonna one-up you here. When you search my name and scroll down, you will literally find the fucking clip drawing your beef with Orochi, in where you've shown a Discord message that happened the same day I met you. You told me in Sleepy's server the clip was not real, and I know you've admitted it in your recent video. I'm saying you're a massive coward for admitting to it after so long. So he's provided a screenshot from the Orochi video where I basically say that Orochi fucking framed me and went under his alt account as me. I don't know how you've missed this information when you watch this video to get that screenshot
up of what they said, but basically they went into a Discord server disguised as me. Bearing in mind I didn't really have a Discord account at the time because my Discord account had got banned, bearing in mind I just left it and whatever. And I'm
exposing myself here by saying that that was being framed, that I was being framed there. Because surely I would like to say that the clip's being photoshopped, but no, that was fucking Orochi. The clip is clearly not photoshopped, and it was clearly me saying it. If I'm exposing myself, okay, you know that your point is fucking invalid at this point. You say that I'm a coward for admitting it after so long, but I literally did an apology video on the fucking day after it happened.
Now, some of you will probably know what I'm talking about. But basically, in a video I deleted, I said the
After admitting to what I said, I literally play the clip so people just don't think I'm fucking using this as a serious subject to get views. I don't get why you've decided to do this after so long. I was very transparent with what I've done. Even when we were friends, I was fucking transparent with it. So I don't get why you're coming after me all this time. If you had a real issue after my apology, after everything, then why were you friends with me in the first place? Look, man, say what you fucking want. I just find it very hypocritical that even after knowing what I'd done, you were still friends with me. But as soon as we stop and I start exposing you, you do the exact same to me with something that you've known about all this time. If you generally had a real issue with this, you would have exposed me when we were mates or we started being mates. Okay, you wouldn't have waited this long to expose me. So I guess it just leads to one thing. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this because I'm exposing you and I'm taking the piss out of you? Are you angry that I'm doing this? Like, what the fuck? Like, if you generally give a shit about this situation, you would have done it way in advance, not now, once you're getting exposed. You're just trying to drag everyone down with you. I thought this video should go on this channel because Anonymous does not deserve any more exposure. He's received a lot already, and I just feel like that would boost his ego even more and make him do more shit like this. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video. I've been your host, Samuel, and I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye. Up until that point, only Anonymous and Eva Payton had been arguing about details of her lying and his lies and etc. This was one of the first proper times of him coming out against me. And then he did a final goodbye message on his Instagram saying he's being put into a holding cell, a waiting cell, until the court date. He talks a lot about what he's done, what's going to happen, that the court date's on March 28th. So if you want to look more into that, please go and check that out. And then his quote-unquote lawyer came out giving a statement saying about people messaging him on Twitter, and now this is where Cynical is going to take over, as this immediately affects him.
I'm not going to start my segment off with some quirky shit like, I didn't want to make this video, because that's a fucking lie. So essentially, I had an argument with Anonymous on Instagram and Twitter, so he tried to fearmonger me by saying that he was his lawyer, which I'm not that fucking gullible, mate. If you believe for a second this is actually his lawyer, you are fucking retarded. Regardless of whether this was really a lawyer or not, it was clearly a bad lawyer, given that Anonymous fired him on the spot, which is funny given that he was still behind bars at the time. A lawyer would be your only hope of winning this case, but you completely threw that out of the window. I mean, that's you're trying to completely hide the fact you ever had a lawyer or ever said you had a lawyer, because you didn't, and you're trying to hide your shitty fucking excuses. Anyway, I want to go through some of these messages because they're too fucking funny. It seems like you're not taking this very seriously, Mr. Cynical. Well, you'd be right, because unlike you, I'm not trying to act like someone I'm not. I'm not playing a character. I'm not playing as a lawyer. I'm not trying to take this professionally, dude. I'm a fucking internet troll. Out of all the messages we exchanged, which I will get into later on today because I haven't brought all of them up yet, you only decide to block me when I simply ask you to refer to me as something other than Mr. Cynical. Because simply requesting to be referred to as your title, that's unprofessional. That's where you realised I wasn't falling for your shitty little lawyer prank, therefore you were looking for an easy escape. Well done. Didn't work as I started messaging you on Instagram. Not at all surprised to see that you've also blocked me on Instagram. It seems every conflict we have ends with you blocking me. Mr. Cynical, and again, I'm not my client who is staying in a temporary cell. Yes, a temporary cell in which he still has access to message his friends, in your own words. I'm not tampering with the evidence, I'm not twisting anything, these are your own words. Upon me asking how is Marc messaging his friends behind bars, you completely changed the subject of the matter to talk about something else we already know about. The screenshots you provide prove nothing but the fact you've spread the same lies to other people. Also, Mr. Lawyer, who has supposedly spent years of his life trying to perfect the art of law, may I point out just a small little spelling mistake. I get the whole lawyers are people argument, but it's your fucking job, mate. It's the equivalent of me being a bus driver and running over 7 kids before I get to the stop. That's essentially going through all the important messages we had. There were a lot more that I may get into later on in the video, depends. But, Mr. Lawyer, if you are watching this, which you are probably not because you've been fired, lol. If you are a lawyer and you are not Marc, which we all believe you are, why are you arguing with children online? Seems pretty unprofessional.
Hashtag FreeM4, a hashtag that was started to get Anonymous a Bible. You can probably tell that this hashtag was quite a controversial one because FreeM4 sounds like people want him to be freed. I got in a lot of arguments with a lot of his Christian friends over this, and the whole basis of this was that they wanted him to have a Bible in prison, which wasn't what I had an issue with, but that's what it sort of became. My opinion is that I don't think that abusers should be able to get any objects. It doesn't matter what kind of objects they are, they shouldn't be allowed it in prison. It's like giving a rapist a dildo. But that was never my argument. I just wanted the hashtag to be changed. I just thought I promoted the wrong message, and that if people didn't know what the message was actually about, they would allude to the fact that it could be about freeing him. As many people will know, he did end up getting a Bible, which wasn't my concern. The hashtag is quite an irrelevant thing, but it just promoted the message that people generally wanted him to be set free. Because of this, me and the lawyer got into a massive argument on Instagram, which led to this. After a heated argument with my now former client, Marc has officially dropped me as his lawyer and requested that I sign out of all his social accounts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, the whole lot. As for this trial, Anonymous will have to be his own attorney at this point. I hope he gets what he was aiming for, a reduced sentence. Now, this just does sound like an irresponsible thing to do, but if you was seeing the stuff that the lawyer was saying on his accounts, it does make a lot of sense. Charlotte Aubrey, a user that hacked Eva Payton's account and found some personal messages between Eva and certain individuals. The individuals included me and a few others. Now, she was also claiming that Eva Payton had leaked her nudes, and this is something that she, Eva Payton herself, accused Anonymous of. I confronted Eva about this, and she said, I shared that slag's news around my school. There was a lot of conversation after that, mainly me arguing against what Eva had done. A lot of it was very hypocritical, and she tried to deny the fact that she called Anonymous out for it, which just blew up her whole point in general. She also tried to make me hide what she had done, but I didn't. I confronted her on Twitter about it, and even though she's been through some horrific stuff, I don't think she should get away with something like this. This resulted in the Discord account saying that I should slit my wrists, faggot, and then for the Twitter to eventually call me out on multiple tweets, start hashtag Samuel is over party up again, and then block me on both of my accounts. Now, there is heavy suspicion in whether the Twitter and Discord were actually Eva, as she had recently been hacked, so we're not certain on that, and we're still not certain to this day, so we actually don't know, but it's looking more and more like this was actually Eva. Charlotte Aubrey, the girl we were talking about earlier, got access to Anonymous's account. Anonymous gave her the accounts after kicking out his lawyer out of the account. And in these messages, quote-unquote, Charlotte admitted that she had been dared to sign into Anonymous's account, which she did so, and then saw Eva's nudes and wanted to get revenge on her for leaking her nudes, and decided to leak them through Anonymous's account. Meaning, Anonymous never leaked her nudes. He never admitted to that. So that means that Charlotte did it through his account, incriminating him. Now, legally, this can affect the trial in multiple ways, because Eva had also leaked nudes, and so had quote-unquote anonymous. There is no proof to say that Charlotte actually was the person in the account when the nudes were leaked, but there's still that case now to be made that it wasn't actually anonymous and it was Charlotte Gale. However, this is all he said, she said, and I've spoken to LTH and a few other members of the Real Lads for this video specifically about this, and this is what they had to say.
Because I see everything, and it's just like really creepy and weird.
That doesn't sound like a lawyer thing to say to me.
It doesn't-
I don't know, man. Like, at the same time, I'm
Almost
not
like
in this
a
situation as you
fucking
guys are. Like, I believe me when I say this, I completely do not care. However, I do feel bad for Anonymous. Not only for what he's done, but
I don't care.
also, like,
I just think, like, if he's lying about being a lawyer, which I think is quite clear that well, it's most likely he's not. Like, what are the chances he's lying about improving as a person?
well, I mean, we could ask if
He could just be
quote unquote
telling you he's
lawyer
improving.
can
He could
send us
just
proof
be
that he's
telling you
actually a
he's
lawyer.
trying to improve.
To be a lawyer, you have to like learn the responsibilities and the documentations, and that's the problem.
And that doesn't seem to be what he's doing.
Exactly. But I believe it has representations.
I'm glad we're at
Sorry,
least on the same page here.
representation will be different. Yes, there you go.
Yes. First, it was only speculation. I came to Samuel and said, "What if this isn't like his lawyer? What if it's fucking anonymous?" But now we have fucking proof.
Well, I mean,
But-
if it's about the grammar, then I don't think the grammar should count because at the same time we don't have
It's
any.
not about the grammar. It's about his use of language. The fact that he's like he straight up splurted out that Mark still had access to the internet whilst in prison. So
I would generally like to have a conversation with this like lawyer or have a conversation with like Mark after prison, obviously, because
I
I
tried
want to
to
know
call him,
like
but then he said he's too busy working on the case. So like, if you're too busy working on the case, why are you fucking arguing with me? Like
yeah,
fucking answer the
I,
call.
A better person. I've done worse than what Anonymous has done. Like I've actually done that, and I don't know. I
Yeah,
love Anonymous, dude. Like he has the
yeah, yeah.
balls for everything. And
He was great as a friend.
now
Yeah,
I'm
like,
disappointed at him. Like I said, we're all disappointed at him. By the way, at the same time though, I'm happy that he's okay. Like he's still okay.
right now this leads us on to my second question. So, did Anonymous like show any traits of like having some sort of an anger issue whilst you were friends?
He
Or did he ever have
he
like angry
especially
outbursts?
shares with these with Revi because Revi has more better understanding than I do.
Mhm.
Revi
That's-
Revi has been a Christian more than I have, and
Oh yeah, how
especially
long
Law
has he
too,
been
because
Christian?
Law
'Cause he
Law
tried to
has
tell me
been.
stuff he did.
What'd you say?
How long has Revi been a Christian? Because he tried to tell me the story whilst we were arguing on Instagram.
To be honest, like last year, I'm pretty sure, or more than a year. Like I'm not exactly sure to be honest. But Law has been a Christian more than Revi, so
Damn. So every person's been a Christian for fucking longer.
pretty much. I mean, it's
Huh.
kind of the same with me too. I
Wait, are
mean,
you Christian? That's a genuine question.
I mean, I go to the church, so
Well, that doesn't mean you have to be Christian.
no, it doesn't. Hold on a second.
Mm. We had a friend called Matthew who said he was Christian.
Matthew.
Monkey.
Monkey. He's also goes by Monkey.
Oh,
Remember? Yeah. When we
yeah.
got to chant his name and call him a cunt. Yeah.
I became a
He said he
Christian
was
ever
Christian. He
since
said he was
I
a
became.
Christian and
Oh,
homophobic, but then he became gay. So
that's confusing.
yeah, he is a confusing fella.
I became Christian like when I was also in like at the rail labs, so it was a big
hmm
experience for me to be honest.
And when it comes to the whole anonymous thing, it's like I had everything firsthand.
It's difficult.
It's like apart from like obviously like Revy and like Law and all them, they were there like to like help out like anonymous, yeah. But they didn't like have the the backlash and like the backhandedness that like Anonymous gave on his way out. It was like because I got like directly like I didn't even want to get involved originally because I didn't think I was going to get involved in this situation because generally like I had no need to. It wasn't like me in this situation.
No,
But
it's happened to me too. Like I got randomly involved too, and it's
then
confusing.
obviously But then obviously I got brought up in like the statement and stuff, which made it even more
The
confusing.
hashtag free anonymous. Now I understand why. And honestly, what you're seeing is like differently from what we're seeing. And like I said
Yeah,
before, yesterday I asked if like it's like good if we changed it to give Mr. Anonymous a Bible. Then you declined it for some reason, which was really confusing.
About the Bible,
Now
I don't care
now I
about the
know.
Bible itself. He can have a Bible, like obviously, like that's not something I'm concerned about or really affects anything. Like maybe for his sake, but not ours.
No, yeah, I understand. I mean, you probably want you probably want this like dead or something like I don't know.
yeah. It's like my original point was like just like the hashtag itself just promoted a negative message, and then it was more like the fact like the when you look like deeper into like wanting a Bible, like a Bible just in general is fair enough because everyone deserves that right if you want it or not, like etc. It doesn't really affect the
There are a
case
lot
in
of
general.
prisoners who has like Bibles in their cells right now. So
Yeah, yeah, like
Also, you can
I
take
don't think it's a big
motivation from
issue.
the Bible. I think it takes more than itself.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But I also feel like it's clear to see, according to this quote unquote lawyer, that he can have his phone or some sort of form of internet in
Yeah,
his
yeah.
cell.
You
Yeah,
can have your phone, like in some cases. I'm guessing in anonymous is like he is allowed his phone given his anonymous or his lawyer accidentally blurting out the truth.
It's clear to see that everyone is split down the middle. People don't know if the stuff that's going on these accounts is real, if it's anonymous, if it's someone else in Eva's account, in Anonymous's account. It's just fact that we don't know, and we probably won't know. People want Anonymous to be free. People want Anonymous to be okay. People want a fair trial, and I want a fair trial. I still care about Anonymous like a lot of people do. I care about this trial though. I care about him getting a fair, judgeable sentence. Just because he's done this doesn't mean I necessarily fucking despise him, but it doesn't mean I like him. I just want him to have a fair trial like everyone else does. So Eva and Charlotte had been at it again. They had had a massive Twitter argument, and then Vampire707, a person that had previously made a video on Anonymous and the Eva situation, had come forward and made a stupid tweet, which then kicked off the argument once again. Quote-unquote Charlotte had basically said to me that there was more information that needed to be dropped about Eva, and my fuck was she not wrong. Charlotte, under the Anonymous account on Twitter, released a twitlonger detailing a lot of information against Some of the stuff we already knew about Eva leaking nudes, some of it was about Eva cheating, and most interestingly, it was about Eva stabbing Anonymous 2 times. So, according to the twitlonger, the context to this was that Eva was getting heated. She tried to slash Anonymous with the knife, cut his clothes, and then got him on the hand. And then another incident was where, again, got him on the leg this time, and also slashed his eyebrow. A lot of the other bits of the twitlonger was just casual information about the situation and the dates. And it looks like Eva had done this before Anonymous even laid a finger on her. Screenshots was provided as evidence to Eva, quote-unquote, cheating on Anonymous. Then more screenshots was shown to suggest that Eva had basically leaked someone's nudes, and including the nudes were even shown, which was a bit disturbing to see on Twitter. And of course, out of respect, I have blurred these. Then the actual wounds of the stabbings were shown as proof, along with some screenshots of messages. And again, I've blurred this because I just do not want that on my YouTube channel. Now, after seeing all of this, bearing in mind with the information we've had from the lawyer, Charlotte just automatically signing into Anonymous's account, at this point in time, me, Cynical, LTH, and a few others were starting to disbelieve this situation entirely. So I wanted to search up his name to find police records, just to find an arrest warrant, just to find anything. And when I asked the Anonymous account, Charlotte said that she couldn't give me his name. Then I asked for an arrest warrant, and she said that she would end up in a cell if she gave me the information. She could blur parts of the information that she's not allowed to show, but she's just not proving to me that this situation is real. There's been no confirmed evidence from court, from any arrest warrants, nothing like that. It's all been based off of these Twitter accounts that have only started for this specifically. Vampire707 then made another tweet, which made Eva Payton and Charlotte then get into another argument. Eva hasn't really said much since, apart from one tweet, which was this one. And then she responded with these tweets, which from her just seems really immature, especially in the situation at hand. To be honest, the social media activity has been held at a low, but it's still there. There's just been stuff going on Instagram and Twitter, etc. On the 28th of March 2022, the anonymous trial was held. The news was broken to me of the verdict a lot sooner than it was to everyone else publicly. I got a personal message from Charlotte through Anonymous's account. But anyways, the verdict. I always believed he'd be serving time for what he did, with all the evidence public and private. I don't get how either's not been arrested, yet alone put in a motherfucking cell. All the proof was court was used already public, nothing was secret, all our evidence was public. The claims that were innocent are listed below: destruction of property, drugging, sexual assault. The claims he pleaded guilty to: attempted assault, original sentence 9 months, new sentence 3 months, physical assault reduced slightly due to a confession made online, original sentence 2.7 years, new sentence 2 years, underage drinking, a fine of £740 with an added 2 months for repeated offences. It's all just sad at this point, shake my head. Marc, all your friends love you, they really do. I hope one day we can meet again in person outside the walls you put yourself in. Either your mother dismissed most of Marc's allegations and don't pretend you don't know that. We showed his pre-written doc I released and your mother dismissed it all simply fake and everyone believed her, LMAO. Alongside this, his plea that he gave to the court was shown, and it is some heartwarming stuff. He does admit to a lot of the stuff. He says that Jesus will save him from his sins and a lot of stuff like that. In my personal opinion, I think 2.5 years was the right amount of time for Anonymous. I do not believe he deserved more, and I do not believe he deserved less. After everything that came out about Eva, I feel like it's justified for what Anonymous did. It's not exactly right, and I don't support that, but we can understand why he did what he did. And something that Vampire707 pointed out that he said doesn't sit right with him and it doesn't sit right with me is that Eva was almost celebrating and boasting that Anonymous was going to prison and that his life has been destroyed, which I find completely unfair. I get wanting to have a guilty verdict for the stuff he has done, but she has also done a lot of terrible things, so I don't think we can sit here saying that she's completely innocent. So, to be honest, I don't think she should be able to do this or get away with it. Especially atting Charlotte in some of the tweets, I just think it's kind of unfair, especially because Charlotte cares an awful lot about Marc. I just feel like there's a whole lot of personal shit going on there, and I feel like Eva's using this to an advantage to boost her social credit score. I also do have my suspicions, like I stated earlier, and I don't like to talk about these because I think it's extremely offensive to the people involved in the situation. But Anonymous gave his account over to Charlotte, and Charlotte was meant to be logging out after the due date yesterday, and she said that she was going to log out, and she did. But then the Anonymous account was on 1 hour ago, and to my knowledge, no one else has access to the account. Take that as you will, but I definitely feel like there's a real possibility with a lot of the evidence that has come forward and a lot of the shit that's happened. I definitely feel like this could be a possibility that some of the shit is fake. Even one of the Anonymous's close friends, LTH, now believes that this situation could be faked. He said it when I spoke to him originally about the lawyer being fake, and then has then gone on to state that he does believe this situation could be a fake.
I'm going to get right into my story, relationship hell, with this person, and I will be explaining why you shouldn't trust this man online or in person.
Eva goes on to say that she's only going to discuss the allegations and a bit of context around them. And she says that even though she doesn't have receipts for all of them, that they did happen. And then she says that the screenshot she does have will be in the comments or in the replies to the tweet.
This wouldn't be the first time that Eva has told us to trust her without any evidence. A lot of the claims that she did put forward were proven to be bullshit in court. Yes, Anonymous still got a 2.5 year sentence for the stuff he did admit to, but it just seems a lot of bullshit was going on behind the scenes. So how the fuck do we know which is fake and which isn't? I told Eva when she said that she had leaked someone's nudes that if she hid it and someone else came out about it, that it would make her story look incomplete and make her look worse than if she actually did come out about it. And it seems that she lied about a lot of stuff, making her story have a lot of holes in it. Look, at the end of the day, you can believe what you want to believe. You can believe the actual law side of it, with Anonymous receiving a 2.5 year sentence, or you can believe the Eva side, the side full of lies, deception, and just blatant misinformation. In the description of today's video will be places where you can contact people if you need help. There will also be charities that support abuse victims, and I just want to end today's video on a final question. Do you believe that this situation was real? And do you believe that the 2.5-year sentence for Anonymous was justified?
Eva Payton is throwing some heavy accusations at Mr.
No. Tell me why you believe, why you think it's okay for Anonymous to have a Bible in
Mr.
prison.
Anonymous abused his girlfriend.
I'm recording this video. Anonymous has been taken into custody.
According to her, Mr. Anonymous also apparently drugged her with her sleeping medication, which led her parents to believe that she was trying to end her own life.